Ivan Clement's thesis proposal. 1, take 742. Mark it. Hello, I'm Ivan Clements and this is my thesis proposal for my short film, Athena, working title. I've been working on several story outlines over this module, which have undergone many changes. Although I had no intention of writing a draft script this early, feedback from peers and tutors motivated an attempt. Despite my insecurities about writing, I was surprised how it flowed. The first draft can be viewed via the link in my written proposal, along with other links to work mentioned below. My film is inspired by actual events, and my purpose for making it is to expose legal and social systems that foster destructive behaviour. Hopefully, it will shine a light on the damage it causes to innocent people. I've set the story in a city where class structure, social and political layers create a delicious and rich moral ambiguity. This suits both protagonist and antagonist, who each have their own moral questions. We open with Athena, a first-generation, mid to late 40s immigrant from Africa whom, after her own difficult journey, has made it her mission to help others. She masks a painful past that still haunts her. Her colour palette will be cool blues and dark greens to match her sombre, reflective mood. To create context, I've added some background radio with the Prime Minister announcing tough new measures to deal with immigration. This will set the tone for the film. Athena has a phone conversation with an Indian woman upset about being in a refuge with her child and wanting to return to her husband. Athena warns of deportation and she must be strong, stick to her story. This gives us a glimpse into Athena's MO. I have Athena stood looking over an empty playground to represent a missing child. We see Athena looking at photos of her son Max and a flashback where an argument between her and her then 13-year-old Max results in him leaving to live with his father. This takes place in her kitchen, and I'll be switching to a much warmer orangey brown palette to show the life she once had. Next, we're introduced to Nima, a late 20s, first-generation immigrant from the West Indies. Her colour palette is warm brown, yellow, burnt orange to give the feeling of maternal love. It foreshadows forgiveness and redemption. At the moment, though this may change, I have her removing a last photo from a wall that has empty hooks where other photos once were. The last photo is slightly obscured, and we only see Nima and her son playing. There is a man, but we can't quite see his face. I'm creating as much ambiguity as possible to keep the audience guessing. Nima places the photo in a stack with all the images facing away so we can't see them. Nima has been referred to Athena and calls her for help. Athena agrees to come around. Once there, Athena explains to Nima how she can use accusations of domestic violence to secure a fast track to UK residency. When Nima questions Athena's knowledge on the subject, Athena becomes evasive and starts to ask Nima about the photos and the empty wall. Oddly, Nima seems happy to switch subjects and casually remarks that her husband has just had the photos reframed. We know this to be a lie. She invites Athena to help her decide where to put the first photo. She hands Athena a photo, and as Athena turns over the photo, we see her reaction. She is shaken to the core, and tears flood. The photo reveals the family photo we saw before, but now we can see the man, a remarkable resemblance to Athena's son, Max. Nima has been engineering this. She tells Athena that Max needs her. He just doesn't know it. The two women commune, and Athena moves to a new moral high ground. I currently have Nima getting and introducing Scout, her son, to Athena to add emotional weight. I'm not certain that it does, so I'm considering removing this. The themes I'm exploring are the ends justify the means versus do the right thing, and overcoming bitterness of betrayal can lead to redemption and forgiveness. I've chosen narrative fiction as my vehicle. This allows me the control I require to achieve the highest emotional impact for my story. I plan to use stylized lighting to highlight hidden texture and meaning. Where I have only natural light, like outside the car, I will deal with this in the grade. I'll be shooting in log, so I'll have a lot of latitude when it comes to post. I now consider myself in pre-production. I have a draft schedule Gantt chart and 2 draft budgets, one for a skeleton crew and one for a more ambitious small crew. I'm working flat out to cover as much of the mechanical prep work so I can focus on directing the actors. Like many directors, I'm a fan of wide depth of field. I like detail in the mise-en-scène to add extra layers of meaning. Although I feel strongly about being an auteur, I shall be taking a collaborative approach during pre-production, assessing all feedback from key creatives. This will inform and shape my material. In week 3 of the positioning practice module, I encountered Walter Murch's rule of 6. It confirmed my underlying belief that you need to move people emotionally. He has emotion as the most important component in any story, which has stayed with me and informed this script by focusing me on Athena's journey and transition. I have already started talking to the composer, Nico Willems, who scored Shop My Stash, the short film I made on the Encountering Performance module. We discussed how the music might reflect the cultural differences between African, West Indian and British, how we can create thematic anthems for each character within the general theme. Following a great meeting with Alan Deacon, my sound designer, I took a shot of an empty swing as he proposed. With slight sound added, he said, this can emphasize emptiness. I like it. I will be having detailed pre-production discussions with the cinematographer, production designer, and costume designer to coordinate colour palettes. In addition, I'll be chatting to the editor to get feedback on structure, weaknesses, and any constructive ideas they may have on pace. By selling camera gear, I will be able to feed the crew and pay insurance. Unless I'm advised otherwise, I'll be shooting 8K on my Sony A1 along with sound on my Zoom F6 to get the best possible image and sound. To keep costs down, I'll be using my parents' place for Athena's house, where we're shooting the kitchen scene, and my place for exterior-interior, Nima's place. For Athena's photo reveal moment, I want to use a variation of a shot used in episode 7 of season 2 of the TV series Scandal. In the scene, Olivia Pope, played by Kerry Washington, is a political fixer. She's in an on-off romantic relationship with the US president, though currently on a break. She's arriving at the office of Senator Edison Davis, played by Norman Lewis, an opponent of the president and current love interest for Olivia. A selfless act of love by the president is revealed through dialogue. This could have been filmed in several over-the-shoulder shots. However, the impact is so much greater with the shot choice made by the director. It gives movement and gravitas to the emotion she's experiencing during the revelation in the moment. It's beautifully crafted. Let's watch it play out.
The White House just threw their support behind Hawley, sent half the caucus running over to our side. It's all over.
Wow.
You didn't have a hand in this.
No hand.
Liv.
The White House did this completely on their own.
Why? If you didn't twist their arm, then who did?
Here's my test shot inspired by the one in Scandal. I'm not entirely sure if it will work, and I will be discussing this with my cinematographer and editor. I feel such inspired shots will elevate my film. Thank you for listening. Onwards and upwards.